Think about your day so far. Did you grab a coffee, maybe tap to pay for gas, or buy something online? Let's jump right into this explainer and explore the silent, invisible engine powering a massive chunk of our daily purchases. Because today, we're taking a deep dive into the great credit myth and looking at exactly how Visa makes billions of dollars without actually lending out a single cent. Thousands. That is the number of taps, swipes, and inserts happening every single second. Literally every second. We're talking about a scale that's almost hard to wrap your head around. Right at this very moment, consumers all over the globe are buying groceries, paying for subscriptions, checking out online. It's just this relentless, incredible river of commerce flowing in real time, all day, every day. So here's a question I want you to really think about. When you swipe that little piece of plastic or tap your phone, who is actually lending you the money? Because while most of us look down at our card, we see that giant recognizable Visa logo, and we just naturally assume Visa's the one fronting the cash, right? It's a completely universal assumption most of us have made since we opened our very first checking account. But we've got to shatter that misconception right out of the gate. The myth is that Visa is a bank extending you credit. The reality? Visa is a technology network. According to the data in our sources, Visa usually doesn't lend a single dime to cardholders. Seriously, not one dime. They aren't a bank at all. They are actually a massive tech company that facilitates the movement of money rather than being the source of the money itself. Okay, moving right along to Section 1, Inside the Digital Highway, the Anatomy of a Swipe. To truly wrap your head around what Visa does, you have to think of it as a highly secure, incredibly fast digital highway. And every highway needs destinations and on-ramps. You've got the customers, the merchants selling the goods, the banks, and other financial institutions. Visa's entire job is just to provide the infrastructure, the roads, essentially, that help payment information travel flawlessly between those four crucial pillars. So let's follow the journey step by step. Step 1, you tap your card at a store. Boom. Instantly, Step 2 kicks in. A payment request is generated and it shoots at lightning speed across Visa's network. And where is it going? Well, Step 3, it goes directly to the bank that issued your card. That specific bank, not Visa, is the one looking at your account, checking your available credit, and deciding to either approve or decline the transaction. And if it's approved, the payment is authorized in seconds. Actually, scratch that. It's usually just fractions of a second. The unbelievable speed and totally frictionless nature of this routing process is what makes the whole system feel like absolute magic. You tap, the machine beeps, and you're walking out the door without missing a beat. So let's just clearly reiterate the fundamental difference here before we dive into the financials. The bank is the entity that actually decides who receives a loan and provides the credit limit. Visa simply provides the network to process that transaction. They don't issue the cards directly, they don't care about your credit score, they just own and maintain the digital roads that the data travels on. Which brings us to Section 2, how Visa actually profits, tolling the digital highway. Look, if Visa is a highway, they make their money exactly like a toll booth. Their primary revenue streams have absolutely nothing to do with consumer interest payments. Instead, the real cash cow is the fees they charge for processing transactions across their vast network. Every single time data zips down their highway, they collect a tiny, tiny fee. Plus, they earn massive revenue from offering vital services that ensure these electronic payments stay secure, completely reliable, and perfectly efficient for everybody involved. And honestly, the beauty of this business model is the growth correlation. As global digital payment adoption rises worldwide, as people ditch cash, the lucrative activity flowing through Visa's infrastructure naturally skyrockets right alongside it. They don't ever have to convince you to take out a loan. They just ride the wave of the world's natural transition toward digital commerce. It's pretty genius. All right, Section 3, the unstoppable network effect and building the ultimate moat. Now, the network effect is a wildly powerful phenomenon. Think about it. Consumers want to carry cards that are accepted everywhere. On the flip side, businesses want to accept the payment methods that the most consumers are actually using. Because millions of merchants accept Visa, you want a Visa card. Because millions of consumers have one, merchants are practically forced to accept them. As both sides grow, it just continuously locks in and compounds the network's overall value. But here's the catch. You can't just build a digital highway and walk away. You have to heavily, constantly police it. Visa makes enormous technological investments into modern payment systems to ensure this infrastructure remains trusted. We're talking advanced encryption, continuous fraud monitoring that analyzes transactions the second they happen, and tokenization technology that literally replaces your card details with a unique identifier to keep hackers out. Because if the network isn't impeccably secure, that powerful network effect we just talked about, it completely collapses. And of course, they are constantly adapting to stay relevant. Continuous innovation has expanded Visa's reach way beyond those physical plastic cards knocking around in your pocket. Today, this trusted infrastructure powers our digital wallets, contactless payments for your morning subway commute, and transactions originating from mobile devices literally all over the world. They've seamlessly woven their network into the fabric of our digital-first lives. That being said, Visa does not operate in a vacuum. They are navigating a fiercely competitive landscape, sitting alongside other major legacy payment networks and a whole rising tide of super agile fintech innovators. So constant evolution, relentless security upgrades, and technological adaptation are absolutely required if they want to keep their spot at the top of the financial food chain. Which brings us to the core thesis of our source material and a truly profound lesson in modern economics. To quote the text, sometimes the most valuable business isn't the one lending the money. It's the company that builds the trusted network connecting millions of buyers, sellers, and banks every day. Facilitating the connection is just vastly more scalable and a whole lot less risky than being the one taking on the debt. It completely changes how you look at that little logo on your card, doesn't it? So I want to leave you with a provocative question to ponder as you go about the rest of your day. What other invisible networks are silently powering your daily life? Look around you. The most lucrative business models are often the ones hiding right in plain sight, just charging a tiny little toll on the roads we all have to use. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the systems that make our world turn.